Good morning and welcome to Title Talk on Monday, February 3rd, 2020. I'm Karen Hamstra and I have some new books I'd like to show you this morning. The first being The Body Outside the Kremlin by James L. May. I believe this is his first book and it has gotten rave reviews. It's a historical novel. Takes place at a kind of a small prison camp at the former Solovetsky Monastery. And it focuses on a man who's serving a 3-year term for associating with the wrong sorts of people. And he hopes to become an icon restorer, work with some monks, but the monk whose friendship he's cultivating is found floating dead in the water. And our main character, whose name is Tolya Bogomolov, becomes the main suspect. So he has to really work hard to extricate himself from his plight. Our second book for the day is called The Secret Chapter by Genevieve Cogman. This is an Invisible Library novel. It's a fantasy novel. And I just love the first line of the description. It says, "A librarian's work is never done." That's how we want it to be, never done. And this librarian is named Irene. She has to go to the library. She's called there because the world where she grew up is in danger of veering into deep chaos, and she needs to obtain a particular book from an information broker named Mr. Nemo. And so she and somebody named Kay make their way to Mr. Nemo's remote Caribbean island, are invited to dinner, and that includes unlikely company. And Mr. Nemo has an offer for everyone there. He wants them to steal a specific painting from a specific world, but to get their reward, they will have to form a team, including a dragon techie, a fae thief, a gambler, a driver, and the muscle. Their goal, a particular museum in Vienna, whose name I will not try to pronounce, in an early 21st century world where their toughest challenge might be each other. So, The Secret Chapter by Genevieve Cogman. When We Were Vikings, this is another new author, I believe. Andrew David MacDonald. It's about a young woman and her slightly older brother. She is a real Viking enthusiast, and they have a set of rules by which she believes they must live. And she finds out that he's engaged in some nefarious ways of trying to make money to keep them afloat. So she decides to launch her own quest, and her mission is to be legendary. It isn't long before she finds herself in a battle that tests the depths and the reach of her heroism, her love for her brother, and her Viking strength. When We Were Vikings, this book too has had really great reviews. Charlene Harris has a new entry in her Gunny Rose series. This is just the second book in the series, and it is called A Longer Fall. And it too, it's a suspense novel with an element of fantasy. The young woman on the cover, Gunny Rose, needs to make a trip down to Dixie, which is a part of the former United States of America, and that is the last place in the world that she wants to go, but she's supposed to, I believe, retrieve or transport a crate. It seems like a straightforward job, but it turns into a massacre as the crate is stolen. Charlene Harris is an enormously popular author these days, and there is not a single person waiting for this book. Can we do something to remedy that situation, please? Come down, check out the new Charlene Harris book. We have a new book, novel by a new Black author, African American, Remembrance by Rita Woods. She is a medical doctor, I think perhaps in Ohio. The book takes place in Remembrance, Ohio. And she's also a public library trustee, so she has to be a great, great woman. It's a rumor, a whisper, passed in the fields and lost behind sheets of laundry, a hidden step on the road north to freedom, a safe haven protected by more than secrecy. If you could make it there, A story lost in the past until now. It takes place in Haiti, and then it moves to New Orleans, and then north to present-day Remembrance. So, Rita Woods, Remembrance. Greg Hurwitz, an enormously popular author, has a new novel in his Orphan X series, Into the Fire. Again, no holds. Come right down, check this book out. It's waiting for you this morning if you're a Greg Hurwitz fan. This is kind of an interesting book. It is a translated novel from the Hungarian, I believe. Yes. It's called Abigail by Magda Szabo, and it is about a young girl, a general's daughter, who is told she'll be going to a boarding school. I believe it might be, it's in the country. I don't know which country. She gets there and she is just aghast because it's a grim religious institution. And she fights with her fellow students, rebels against her teachers, is completely ostracized, and then finally runs away. It says there's something of Jane Austen in this story, of the deceptiveness of appearances. Fans of J.K. Rowling are sure to enjoy her picture of irreverent students, eccentric teachers, and boarding school life. Above all, however, Abigail is a thrilling tale of suspense, and that author's last name is spelled S-Z-A-B-O. Magda Szabo. This one is by Annie England Noblin, St. Francis Society, Wayward Pets. It's about a young woman whose birth mother leaves her an inheritance of her home, her old VW, and a marauding cat. And it's all in Timber Creek, Washington. So she packs up, moves to Timber Creek, and finds this bulldog living on her front porch just waiting for her. That's probably because this house is located right next door to the St. Francis Society for Wayward Pets. And she gets involved in a mystery with that society. This is at least the third book in this series. There was one called Pupcakes and one called Sit, Stay, Speak. So if you like dogs or animals of any kind, you might well enjoy this book. The author's last name is spelled Noblin. We have a historical sort of novel, The Moonshiner's Daughter by Donna Everhart. This takes place in 1960s North Carolina in the brushy mountains of Wilkes County. It's about a young woman named Jessie Sasser, and her family has been involved in moonshining for years, and it's all contained in their history in a leather-bound volume that her daddy has. And he is determined that she continue the family legacy of moonshining, and she is equally determined not to. And she makes plans to destroy the stills using their neighbors as scapegoats for it. So a bit of family battles involved here in The Moonshiner's Daughter by Donna Everhart. We have a romance, since it's February, The Way of the Brave by Susan May Warren. This person, whose name is Orion Starr, it's kind of an ironic name if you stop and think about it. Cute. He was a former pararescue jumper, and he really wants no part of rescuing people anymore, but he got a call about Hamilton Jones's elite rescue team, and they are needed to rescue 3 people off the side of the Denali Mountain in Alaska. His sense of duty kicks in, and he must go. And someone named Jenny is there waiting on him. So read all about how they get together. And last but not least, a combination fantasy and mystery paranormal book, An Incantation of Cats by Clea Simon. This is part of the Witch Cats of Cambridge mystery series. And it's about a fledgling witch detective named Becca Colwyn. And she's hoping to finally use her newfound magical skills to help her newfound magical community. And her first client is named Gaia Lindquist, and she works at the Charm and Cherish shop, and she believes that someone has been trying to poison her. The second client is Margaret Cross, the shop's owner, who believes there is a thief in her midst, possibly Gaia herself. So Becca finds the new cases intertwining and things grow increasingly more complicated. Come down and untangle it for them. Read all about it. Hope there's something there that will pique your curiosity and that you will make a trip to the library today. We'll see you soon. Bye.